Welcome to another session in Microsoft Access Databases with Mr. TJ Zenda here, and today we are looking at field properties in Microsoft Access. So I want you to know that field properties are settings that control how data is stored, formatted, and validated in a specific table column. And to modify these properties, we are going to open our table in Design View, select the field, and use the General and Lookup tabs in the bottom pane. So I'm going to show you as soon as we are done with our field properties. Here I'm going to explain our field properties. Then after that, I'm going to show you our tables in Design View. So the first one is the field size. So we have to control the number of characters for every field name. Okay, if it is the first name, obviously the longest name can not be longer than 15 characters. So maybe we need to assign the field name to 15 characters, the name of the person. Okay, and then the format, depending on the nature of the data that we are dealing with. Is it money? Are we talking about the date? Then we need to adjust that field to the nature of data that we are dealing with. Then the input mask. This one, it guides the user during data entry by providing a specific pattern. I'm going to show you the input mask character sheet, which is at the end of these slides. We also have captions, which says the label name that automatically appears in forms, and reports if you don't want to use the actual field name. So if you don't want to use the actual field name, you can make use of the caption. We also have what we call the default value. So we can specify a value that will automatically be allocated to the field when a new record is added. We have the validation rule and the validation text. We have covered this in our previous video. Please go and look in our previous videos there, and you are going to get more details about validation rule and validation text. Okay, so the rule, it says the condition that must be met, and if that rule is not met, then we are going to get the specific error message that will pop up if that rule is broken. For the required property, we are the ones who are going to set that to yes. So this yes, it forces the user to enter the data in the field before saving the record. The last one is the indexed, which speeds up searches and sorts on a field and can be used to prevent duplicate entries. So let's go to our input mask character sheet. So these are the codes, these are the characters that we are going to make use of, especially the first one, the 0 code there, which forces the user to enter a digit, right? It's not optional, it has to be entered. But the 9 there, the digit is optional. Okay, the L there, the user must enter the letter, but for the question mark, it is an optional letter. So I'm going to show you how we are going to use these characters in our input mask. Okay, so let's go and open our database. So here's our database, and it's in datasheet view, and these are the field names that we are going to look at the top there. Okay, so let's go to our design view. Okay, so we said for every field name, here's the field name, okay, and the data type. So for every field name, if I click on this field name, it takes me to the field properties. So this is my active field name, which is the first name. And if I go to the last name, it takes me to its field properties. If I go to gender, it takes me to the field properties. Can you see that? So this is what we are going to work with. So let's go back to the field name. For the field name, we said obviously the first name cannot be longer than 15 characters. So I'm going to set that to 15 so that we can save space in our database. Okay, let's go to the last name. We can do the same again. We can set that to 15 characters. Okay, let me jump to passport number, and let me take you to our datasheet view. There's something that I want you to see there. Let me save this. There is something that I want you to see there. In our passport number, we have BU, capital letter BU, and 8 digits. Can you see that? So what I'm going to do, I am going to design view, go to the passport number. So passport number, I'm going to set that to 10 characters, and here is our input mask. So the field properties for passport number, these are the field properties. Remember, this is what we have covered: the field size, format, input mask, caption, default value, validation rule, validation text, required. These are the field properties that we have discussed in our slides. Okay, so the field size for the passport number, I'm setting that to 10. Now let's talk about the input mask now. Remember, we said our BU there, right? These are the capital letters that we have. So we have 2 letters in our passport number. So I want them to be capitalized. So I'm going to use this symbol, the greater than. So it's capitalizing, okay? Then for the 2 letters, I'm going to use the following code, which is L, which is going to force our user to enter those 2 letters, okay? Then I'm going to use 8 digits. So I'm going to put 8 0 codes there, right? Okay, 8 0 codes. So this is what I'm going to have. So if I switch to datasheet view, let me switch to datasheet view. Now, if I switch to datasheet view, if I am going to say, let me delete the BU there, I want to write that BU in small letters, okay? So I'm going to write it in small letters, BU. It is always going to automatically convert those small letters into capital letters. Okay, so this is how we are going to work with our input mask. So we can actually do the same with our flight number. Look at our flight number here. We have got the first 2 capital letters and 3 digits. Okay, so let's go to our design view. So I'm going to set this to 5 characters, and first 2 letters which are capitalized, I'm going to use the greater than symbol, followed by 2 codes to make sure that the letter is going to be inserted, followed by 3 compulsory digits. So these digits are compulsory. So this is what you can actually do. Okay, we also have, let's go to our destination. Maybe I have the required. I have to make sure that it is required. I have to make sure that I force the user to enter the destination. Okay, so this is what I'm going to have. Let's go to the gender. Maybe I want to set the validation rule, right? In terms, let's go and look at the type of data that we have in our, let's save this one first. So in terms of the gender, we have F for female and M for male. So I'm going to set my validation rule. I'm going to say M F or M. Okay, so this is what I'm going to have. So I'm going to say validation text and F or M only. Okay, so this is what I'm going to have. So if I go back to our datasheet view, let's say the user is making a mistake here in terms of the gender there, and the by mistake he entered R there. Let's see what is going to happen. So it is going to pop up as an error message to remind the user that whatever that he or she has entered there is wrong. So it is reminding, telling the user the error message that you only have to enter F or M only. So we need to go and adjust that, so it has to be F. This is how you are going to make use of your field properties. Thank you very much for watching this video.